Hi, and welcome to the Monetize Your Mission Mastermind for Thursday, July 30th, 2026. Today, we are going to be talking about notes and chat to some extent here on Substack and how you can use notes to really leverage it for growth and get subscribers and clients and all the things. So stay tuned and be sure if you're watching us on YouTube or over on Substack to come join us in our community, the Client Acquisition for Coaches community, also known as the U World Order, because that's what we're all about, shaping the U World Order and making it a place where we raise the global frequency and make it a better space for all of us to enjoy. Okay, we will get started here in just a moment. All right, we got everybody gathered around to learn about notes and how we can get them to go further than they might normally go. I know a lot of times we start out posting notes and it just feels like we're shouting into the void. It's so discouraging. There's ways to create notes that are more likely to get them to expand their reach. I'm not going to say go viral because going viral isn't really the goal so much as getting into lanes where your ideal clients might be hanging out. And every once in a while, you'll just hit on a banger, as they say, and it'll grow wings and take off into the stratosphere. And you're just left there thinking, how am I ever going to keep up with this,
Trying to
with the
transcribe.
comments? So I'm going to share my screen. I think that's going to be the best place to start with this. And as always, you guys are welcome to ask questions and I'll just share everything and then I'll come over here to this. This is, maybe I want to come over here to this. Um, I thought I had opened Soph's note, but I didn't. Um, we're gonna we're gonna talk about notes in general, I think first. About let's do that. As you go through your home feed, and I hope that you guys will go through your home feeds every day. I usually like to come over here from the Notes Boost feed, and it just gets me into the home feed. And then I can start following people. And I honestly just randomly follow people. It doesn't hurt to follow people. Um, I don't know why it keeps pumping me over there. I don't want to subscribe to everybody because I don't have enough time in my life to actually interact with people on that kind of a basis, like if they're in my email box. And I feel bad if I have to just like delete bunches of emails from people. And it also hurts their deliverability rate. So if I follow you and I don't subscribe to you, it's nothing personal. It's really to help you so that your account doesn't get harmed by the fact that I'm not opening all of your emails. Yeah, Siska. Did you mean to raise your hand, Siska, or are you trying to unmute yourself? There we
Sorry,
go.
I was not hearing you, and then I raised my hand, but then it stopped. No, that was a mistake. Sorry. Go
Okay.
ahead. Sorry.
I was wondering because I have your um, account right up here, the happiness hippie. Um, and when you go through your notes, it doesn't ever hurt to just hit the heart button. I mean, just randomly go through and hit the heart button. I do want to go back through and comment on these, however, so I'm not going to keep doing that. Um, And then you'll notice that accounts that tend to get um, interactions also expand their reach. So let me come over here and just you'll notice that I a lot of you guys are I'm going through here and your stuff is popping up because I'm always commenting on your stuff. So it comes in into my feed. And then I also if I click on I'll just click on this note here. We're going to have all of these comments. It's good to comment on comments. And then you're going to see related notes. This is like the gold mine because this you want your notes to show up in other people's related notes. And so if you're constantly commenting on different people's notes, then it's going to show up. The related notes are going to show up here. And then other people's um, notes will also show up here. Like I wasn't connected to Allie. I'm not even sure if no, I wasn't even following Allie. Excuse me. But she's showing up in here. And then other people, like I don't recognize this person, so I can follow her. You can learn about people, and this is what people will do for you, and why I'm always telling you that you should make sure that your bio tells people what they can expect from you because that's the only piece they're getting about you when they're going through this home feed. It's their first introduction to who you are. And then they can see your publication. So what people do is they normally will just like either click on that and subscribe, or they'll click on your profile and then they'll um, check out what you're doing. And these are publications that she has. And then you can see all of her notes and you can see all of her articles. Every time you publish an article, it gets put on your home feed or your home page. This is like your personal page. This is all about you. And then then like you can separate it into posts, you can separate it into likes, and you can see her subscriptions. But the well, we're going to go back over to the homepage, and we're going to talk about creating notes, and then a little bit about um, my thoughts on how to get notes to go viral. You'll often hear me tell you that I think you should post 3 notes a day, morning, noon, and evening. And then you should schedule those notes so that they're constantly having something for the algorithm to put out, but they're not all 3 stacked really close together because then they're competing with each other. So you want them spaced out. And then when inspiration hits you, like it does for all of us, you just make that one in addition to, instead of just trying to be inspired every day or think that you're going to be inspired 3 times a day, which isn't going to happen because we're all busy and we all have things going on in our lives. Um, I'm going to show you Derek's feed. And this is to encourage you guys because he is a bestseller and he has hundreds of paid subscribers. You'll notice that he doesn't have like every one of his notes does not have thousands of likes. He's somebody that teaches you how to do notes. He's grown because of notes. He does have thousands of subscribers. He has like 8,000 subscribers. So when you look at your own feed and you're like, "Oh, nobody's liking my stuff." if you will participate in the Notes Boost thread over in the community, the client acquisition for coaches community, also known as the U World Order, um, you will come to realize that we'll all come around and we will give you likes and we will comment and um we will lift your notes up. And that makes a really big difference to getting your notes to travel further. And I'm really good about like restacking people's stuff. I love to restack people's comments. You can also reach into the comments when you're commenting on someone's note, and you can tag other people to come into the conversation with you. And when you, yes, Soph.
No, you finish what you were going to say, and then I'll say my bit after.
Okay. Well, I was going to say is that you can tag them in the comment, and you can also tag them when you're restacking it. If you restack it with a note, you can tag people in it. So you're drawing other people into the conversation, and it makes the notes go out further. And it's really important that you interact at least in your own conversations. If people are commenting on your posts or on your notes, you want to be answering them, and and more than just like an emoji. You want to have a conversation start to develop around it. And I know some of you are really good about this. Siska, you get conversations going in your notes all the time. And I think that that is part of, on top of the fact that that note that you created that's got 1 million likes now and is just driving so much traffic, that that hit on a couple of hot points. So what did you want to share? And I'm going to be trying to find that note over here.
Yeah, I was just going to say one thing that I did with that note in particular, and I'm not an expert, this was a complete accident. It's probably the most boring thing I've ever wrote. And it's just gone crazy. But underneath that, because obviously it was getting so many comments, I then put a question under that note myself. So then obviously the note was about the fact that Substack allows us to be quite niche and write lots of words about it. So then I asked them what they write about. So I asked the question underneath my own note, if that makes sense, to kind of get even more
I can,
interaction.
yeah, so you're like up to 19,000 likes on this one
Yeah.
and 418 comments and 1,300 restacks.
Yeah. And I got,
And this
so
is,
just so everyone, I got 400 subscribers off of that note alone. Well, I say off of that note, some of it has been from articles, but it's been that note that has brought them to my publication.
mostly because they see this and they relate to it, and everybody is, it's not like you're telling anybody anything new. You're making statements, and people are like, yeah, check. Instagram is, look at me. LinkedIn, yep, check, hire me. TikTok, watch me. So you got people shaking their head. Substack, I've been thinking about something weird for 3 days and I wrote 2,000 words about it. Uh, yeah, what is it? And so they go over here and they go like this, and then they go right down here and they go like that. And then they get over here and you've got this beautiful picture of your baby, and it's talking about a cancer diagnosis. I can tell you almost everyone clicks on this as the first article into an introduction into your world.
That's why it's pinned.
I genius.
Is it icky? I mean, is it a bit icky because someone said to me, not on Substack, but as in talking about my daughter's diagnosis, that I was what's the word I'm looking for? Like taken advantage of her almost. But I don't write about her. I write about how it felt for me in that. So I'm not going through like her stuff. It's more what that felt like and how that changed my life going forward.
Yeah, I have read the article and it's about you. It's about the journey that you were on because of that. And it's spoiler alert, there's a happy ending. She's a beautiful, how old is she now? Six, 7. Yeah, 7-year-old doing well. But this was a really traumatic turning point in your life, and you're not being a good girl anymore. And back in those days, you were like, I'm doing everything right. And why did this horrible, sucky thing happen to me and my family? Life's too short to just follow the straight and narrow path that everybody wants you to trudge down. So I don't look at it that way in terms of you're using her. It's just part of your story. And yes, she's part of your story too. Yeah, Tracy, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, some people will jump in, and if you post anything about a child, they're just like, oh, that's gross. Oh, you can't do that. But as you said, I mean, this is your journey. And one of the things that happened on your journey was that your child got a terrible diagnosis. And so you're not saying, you're not exposing her journey, you know, like you don't say, oh, well, we had to, like, she had to do this and she was upset about it. Like, you're not saying those things. You're saying, here's how I navigated this horrible situation. So I think that there are just people who have a knee-jerk reaction. Like, don't ever post a picture of your child online because there are predators out there and stuff like that. So I think that's that person's, like, whatever, like, stuff they have going on in their mind. That's just a story they're telling themselves. It's not what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Rhonda, did you want to share, or are you just typing?
Oh, exploiting. That was exactly the word I was thinking of. That I was trying to remember. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know my mic was hot. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. You just kept lighting up, and I was like,
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. It's always like, you go, why did that person mute? And sometimes it's you. So, yeah, sometimes it's me. No, I was just saying why I was clackety-clacking is because just to say that there's a big difference between sharing your journey and exploiting a situation, and it is part of your life. So I'm a blind person, and if somebody were to say, are you talking about blindness, that's exploiting your disability, trying to get people to feel bad for you, and I'm like, no, I'm totally not, because I don't feel bad about it. So if you do, it's none of my business. It's your attitude is none of my business.
Yeah. And
right?
it's part of who you are. It just isn't just like,
yeah,
we'll have blonde hair. There's not a lot you can do about it.
Right. It's that's why I say insert a word like a size 9 shoe in place of child with cancer. And if it's like, it's that kind of thing. It's like, it's just a piece of your life. It's a piece of your journey. And really now more than ever, everyone wants people to be real. Don't hide behind always using AI only, but be you and show who you are. People want to see that vulnerability. It kind of drives me a little crazy because I don't mind sharing to a point, but in my family it was sort of like, don't just like blah out your stuff all over the place. So it's always feels a little bit weird too at the same time, but it's not because of how I feel about what people say. It's just that kind of ingrained. But people love it when we share.
And it is and it is a really hopeful article.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the start of what the work that I help other women do now. So it felt really relevant I'm not just, everyone feels sorry for me, because I don't feel sorry for me. I would change it if I could, but like you guys have just said, I can't. So it's yeah,
of course. And you're using that as, or you are living through that difficult experience, and yet you're finding the real power and strength in it and how it empowers you to change your perspective on things, etc. That is very different from, like some of those, I think about those commercials with the sad looking dog. These dogs are in the cages and blah, blah, blah. And that is just totally like, but that's not what you're doing at all. So it's very different.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so we're going to look at this other note that I have created, or that I created a while ago, and it has 15,000 likes and 777 comments and 100 or 1,700 restacks. It's a very restackable note, and I'm going to show you the stats on it. It had 183,000 impressions. I couldn't show you Soph stats. And it got me 253 subscribers. Ooh. This is a really basic post. And I've had several of these sorts of things. And the key to this is that it's just edgy enough that there's a certain group of people that are like, don't blame your parents for your problems. And then there's the other group who are like, yeah, I'm finally embracing who I am, even though I got told to, conform to this box. The two things that these two notes point out is that people want stories they can relate to. They want short notes that are that make them feel like they're not alone, that they're thinking the right, it gives them space to think and to say, yes, I'm part of something bigger than myself. And in Soph's case, she inserted curiosity in there, and that really is the driver to get them to go to her publication itself. So if you can create notes, and I'm a big believer in AI, so you can use AI to help you craft notes that are relatable and inspirational. The notes I think that do the best are notes that share something that makes us feel something. Like I saw a note one time, and this was maybe last year. It was a picture of a bridge that somebody had taken on kind of a rainy day, and it was over a river, and there was a duck on the river. I'm describing to you an image I saw for maybe 30 seconds months ago. Still can see that picture. It made me feel something. It made me slow down and have an experience, even though I was right here online. And it was such an impactful experience just to have an image and a bridge over a water on a rainy day with a duck.
I think people really like stuff as well where they feel seen or understood. Because I think the type of people, and I might be generalizing here, but us that on Substack, I think we probably have spent a bit of our life maybe feeling misunderstood or haven't fit in other places, like the other social media platforms, maybe, for example, and just seeing, oh, it's not just me who feels that way, or, oh, me too, I think is a really nice feeling for people. And I know that's definitely the notes that I really resonate with for myself.
And notes that ask you questions and are genuinely curious about what's happening in your life. Like this one here is, have your beliefs ever become less certain as you learned more? It asks you to think a little bit. Did you raise your hand, Tracy?
People love talking about themselves, that really. So, like, I think if you can ask a question, like, what are your thoughts on this? What have you been thinking about? What happened here? Yeah.
Hmm. Go ahead, Tracy.
Um, it's really interesting because when you're talking about like people seeing themselves in that, and it's like, okay, the Instagram, yes, yes, yes. The thing that I connected with in that post was the very last line. Because like the other stuff, I was like, yep, 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 whatever, but when you said my people, like last fall, it was snowing and I was outside trying to like blow the leaves to pick up the leaves before the snow came down. And I like literally heard somebody else turn their blower on. And I said, it is the call of my
Oh,
people.
you got a drink.
Just being
Where'd you get
goofy.
this from?
And I look up and my neighbors are in the middle of walking to their garage
Sorry?
and they're just standing there staring at me. And so that was the part that I connected to completely. Like the rest of it, I would have been like, yeah. So I think it's like you never know what is going to really draw someone in. Because to me, that was the part that I saw myself in. That was the part that I like had a really great memory. It wasn't the stuff that you had like the body of the thought, right? It was
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, Soph is my people, right?
And that is what people have in their comments resonated with. They've said definitely found my people on Substack. And I think there's such a community feel, isn't there? And like I think it is like I remember coming to Substack and being like, oh my God, I can breathe here, I can exhale. Like these are my little weirdos. So like, this is like the little weird corner of the internet that I've been looking for. These are my people. Yeah.
And it's not about advertising, and it's not even about trying to get people to go look at your articles. I think the best way for sharing articles, it automatically will go on your feed when you publish, when you hit publish. But beyond that, if you want it to resurface again, highlighting something in there that's thought-provoking and then letting it come up as a little meme with writing in it with the quote that you highlighted and then something on top of it, and you, again, call out people, use the at tag to mention people, and that pulls their audience into the conversation. And and asking questions. Sometimes I'll write things in response to stuff that other people have written. If you can find somebody who has a bigger following than you have or a similar following to yours, and include their reference stuff that they're doing, then you get into two audiences because they will often reciprocate with you. And then now you're in front of a whole nother group of people that's just as big as your group, and commenting on big influencers. There are influencers over here, and if you're commenting on their stuff in a helpful way, not come look at my stuff, but meaningful comments, even if it's like way outside of the realm of what you do, then it will bring people over to your publication or at least your feed, and they'll become followers and subscribers. It's how you get out into the network. This is not a space where you can just drop links and think you're going to get found, or even just drop notes every once in a while and think you're going to get found. It just isn't going to happen. You have to interact and build community with the notes. And then we've got the chat feature, and you get there just by going to that little chat thing. This confused me for the longest time because I have been on Substack long enough to see them go from just the publication to having notes to having these chats, and then there's the DMs. So you can have like direct messages, you can have group conversations. I mean, it's just like it's so many things you can do. The thing about these chat threads is that you can paywall them. You can make it for just your subscribers, or it can be for everyone. I'm using it for everyone right now. I've started doing what I call the daily ripple. Um, we'll see how long it lasts, but once when you're creating a new thread, you can also send it out as an email. So it's one of the four ways you can email your subscribers. The other three ways are your welcome emails, your whenever you publish something, it goes out to your subscribers, and also you can broadcast to your subscribers. So you have lots of ways of interacting with them in their email box, but these ways are ways to get out into the general community. Yeah, so just jump in.
So this is I literally was thinking about this last night. So a broadcast is emailing them, but it's not doesn't go on your publication. Is that right?
Yes.
How do you do that?
You you go to your dashboard and then you go to your subscribers and then you click subscriber and you select all of your subscribers. And then you go over here to the side where it says send email.
Mm.
And then you create your email, give it a title and everything. And you can still use your templates. And then once you send it, and really you just send it, it will show up under your posts sections. Like this is the email that I sent out to everybody about this um, mastermind that we're having right now, but it's not on my publication.
That's so good because I was thinking like for my birthday party, like I would want to send like I know I've got it in the chat, but it'd be nice to send a reminder email with the Zoom link and stuff. But I don't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to create that as a publications, and I was thinking, is there a way to do that? So that's perfect.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. That's how you do it. Yeah, Claudia.
So because I use Substack once or twice a week when I publish something on the network or on my own podcast. I have some basic questions. So when I create a post and I send it out, does it go to my existing subscribers, or I have to do exactly what you just showed us with the email?
No, it goes out to your existing subscribers. It will
Okay.
show up in their email box as a publication because you're actually creating an article around what you're doing, correct?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
know that I see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So second, thank you. When I create a note, is there any etiquette for tagging people? So if I do I just put some keywords and then I see a list of people or profiles which are related to that theme. And this is how I tag people. Is that right, wrong? Is any other better way to do it?
I don't know that I would necessarily do that. You want to tag people that you know because you want them to start a conversation in
Mhm.
the comments under your note. So I would definitely get people that you're doing podcast episodes with or
Mhm.
to join Substack so that you can tag them. But also, it's a way for them to do double duty because they have a different audience than your audience. And so they could grow over on Substack and they can share the article as well as you're sharing it, and then you tag each other, and you can also I don't know if there's somebody. Oh, this person. Um, Leah is on Substack, and so I don't know that she accepted the invitation or not. It's hard to tell. But she's on Substack, and so I could tag her in this article, and I think at the very bottom it's going to have her stuff. No, she didn't accept it. If you come on my podcast and you accept the invitation, then there's going to be a little block at the bottom of
Mhm.
the article part that has your publication and your information on there, which is it's helpful again because then they're getting in front of your audience, and then if they will do the same thing for their publication, then you get in front of their audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay, thank you. Now, last question.
Mhm.
Are there any VAs who can help us to do all this work? Because I personally, as I mentioned before, I don't have the time to send the notes, send the articles, do all that stuff, comment, like it's way, way too much, like a full-time job. So do you know of any VAs that might be able to do that type of work?
You know, you might post about it in the community, and you might actually even just put some notes out there asking if anybody would like to be a VA for you. Or you can find somebody that you would that you know and trust. Um, oh, I just lost his name. He's related to Jay. He Why can't I remember his name?
Helis, you mean, or anyone else, or
Who?
Helis?
Hillis, yes. Hillis could do it.
No,
Hillis would
he's
love
way,
to do
way
it.
too busy. Oh, he's way too busy with his own stuff and the editing and the production stuff. No, he's way too busy. Yeah.
Have you asked him lately? Because I was talking to
Mm,
him not that long ago, and he was looking for to pick up extra work.
okay, I'll talk to him then, because I exchange texts with him every week. So yeah, I'll
Yeah,
ask him.
just ask him. And if not him, then reach back out to me, and I'll see if I can't find other people that might be interested in doing that for you.
Okay, thank
And
you.
I'll even help them get started. Yes, Bo.
Thank you.
Welcome. Bo.
Oh, I wanted to respond to him without interrupting him. I wanted
Yeah.
to say, have you considered using an automation like a Chrome widget where you have it preloaded with, say, several hundred responses that come from your core work? Maybe take 20 or 30 of your old articles or whatever. I don't know what genre you're in, so please forgive me. I don't know. So you could take a bunch of your current content you've already created, push it into a Chrome extension and have it separated and parsed by topics, et cetera, et cetera. And you could preload that once a month or once every 60 days or 90 days. And then you just pull it when you go to Substack, you just click the button for the Chrome extension and it would have all the preloads ready to go. And you just copy paste, done. You're done in seconds. Have you considered that?
No, I have not considered because I wasn't familiar with this
Okay.
type of feature. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not a feature that's in Substack. It's a feature that
in
you
Chrome. Yeah.
create outside it for a Chrome
Mhm.
extension. Yeah, and you can if you have a Claude account, you could create that in Claude and have it it will create everything for you. And frankly, people are charging like up to $2,000 for this. I could probably teach you in 20 minutes and it would be absolutely for free. So I'm totally willing to help you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I- I'll
Um,
I'll
uh,
connect you guys.
okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I use
Janae's
Claude and
another AI
yeah,
person too.
I
There's
use Claude and I pay for it, so I have the hopefully access to the best thinking processing that's there. Yeah, thank you.
AI does so much. And I'm a big proponent of use AI to help you create your notes that you're going to use and spend right now it takes me about 30 minutes to schedule my notes. And what you do is you just go over to the home feed and you type in what's on your mind and you paste whatever you're going to put in there, and then you schedule it by clicking this little scheduling calendar thing there. And then you can pick which day you want and what time you want. And then you click save, and then you schedule it. And then once you schedule it, it's just going to disappear. And then you're back here and you're like, oh my cow, where did they go? But you just come back over to the what's on your mind and you click drafts, and you can see all of your drafts in here, and you can edit them, you can change them, you can delete them, you can schedule them for different times. Um, I usually do it a week at a time, so I have like 21 notes ready to go, and they just drop all day long. But I also spend time in my notes, and um I'm always restacking people's stuff, or if I'm reading an article, I'll highlight a part of it and I'll come over here and post it over here. Um like this. Um and then yes, Jay.
Hey, Jill.
Hey.
Jill, I'm brand new to this, and
Mhm.
this may not be an appropriate question, but
Good,
what's
good.
the relationship between, I didn't even know that we call these things notes. In my world, they're Substacks or God knows what. But if you're posting a note, is there an advantage to teaming it up with a YouTube channel insertion?
You can do shorts. Notes generally perform best if they're between 50 and maybe 150 words. If you're getting too much longer than that, people won't read it. Those are better put over as an article. So what you're going to want to do is focus on putting your longer form YouTube content up as a video post. Substack will cut it up and make clips for you, and you can put those clips on the notes feed. In fact, I think that it will can do it automatically for you. But you want the notes feed to be relatable and inspirational, and give people a reason to go over to your publication without saying, go over to my publication. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it's a slightly disappointing feedback because I've just made 40 relatively long, what I believe are brilliant articles for what I was calling Substack, thinking that I was the next Anne Lamont and that people would want to read longer pieces because I'm so incredibly fascinating.
They do. And you are incredibly fascinating and you have great stories. But those belong over on the publication side. And
Okay,
then you just want, you know, 1 or 2 line clips to go in the note side.
excellent. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Siska, you're next.
Um, I was just asking, what are you using to create your notes? Are you using your note GPT creator or
I actually have a couple of ways that I do it. I use the GTP one. Sometimes I use the notes engine. I made that Claude engine that I will use sometimes. And I also just use Chat GPT, and like I've fed it some of the notes that have done better for me, and have it work on that. And then I get 21 or 20 um, ideas back, and then I tweak them. I don't ever just like post them because they need help. It it's still AI, and it's not a human being, and it doesn't understand the nuances of asking something that seems odd or out of place.
okay?
So you have to add that part in yourself. And you can take some of those things are great little quotes that you can, like this one, this image right here. This was actually a note that AI gave me, and I said, well, that would make a great meme. So I just had it make it as an image instead of
Ah,
just putting it out there as text. So you can change it up. I've been experimenting with these watercolor um,
I really
things.
like it. Wanted
You-
to do some of that stuff. Yeah. But I hear what you're saying. So you're taking the actual note and just telling it to give you a image around that.
Yep. And you can lean into having a style if you want. Like I said, we're experimenting with this style. We'll see how it does. I might go back to the black and white. I just don't know. It's all a grand experiment, and I'm just getting feedback right now. Yes, Sheila, can I help you?
Yes, Jill. I wanted to know, you said to do three notes, for morning, afternoon, and evening.
Mhm.
How do you space that out?
That's where you're going to use the scheduler.
Okay.
So when you're going to do them one at a time, you post it in here, and then you come down here to, you see this little calendar down here?
Mm-hmm.
You just click that and you pick the day. So I could do it like tomorrow, and then I can pick the time. And this is it's a 12-hour clock. So you have to like pick, let's say I want to do it at 5:02 in the morning. And then you just click save. And so it's scheduled for July 31st at 5:02 in the morning. And then you put your note in here, paste it
Mm-hmm.
in here, or drop your image in there. And then you hit schedule. And I'm going to cancel this. And then it'll show back up. You click back on there and you click drafts, and you can see where it's scheduled. Like I have all these scheduled until next Tuesday.
Okay. So if you do a second note in one day, what time would that one should be scheduled?
So I like to do it morning, noon, and then evening. And it doesn't have to be like 12 noon. Sometimes it's 101 or 2:52 or just
So
whatever
you don't
you
have to space them like every like 3 or 4 hours. You could just kind of pick a
totally
time.
random.
Yeah, random. Yeah.
I'm 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 very much a random person. Some days I'm like all about the 11s. So everything will be like something 11.
My favorite number.
Have fun with it. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You are so welcome. And then don't be afraid to add in extra ones. It's just to keep you in the feed and keep your feed alive. It's kind of like sourdough starter. You have to pull it out and feed it every once in a while, and then you can stick it back in the fridge and it'll be good. All right, Tracy, what
Thank
you
you.
got?
I just wanted to say, because part of my strategy for posting notes is I figure out what tutorial I'm going to do the
Mhm,
following week, and then I post notes on all of those. So mine are related to the tutorials, except for the random ones, obviously.
mhm,
But I, instead of doing just relatable and inspirational, I do, because I'm doing three a day, I do relatable, inspirational, and instructive.
mhm. Yep.
I know it's going to be, and so I feel like it mixes it up a little bit more, and instead of just, because the inspirational ones are great. Um, and I think that, earlier when we were talking about Soph's note, it
Mhm,
had sort of, like that really relatable feel to it. And a lot of the ones that you've had have that really inspirational feel to it. Um, well, I guess it's both relatable and inspirational for yours. But yeah, I feel like that is one that a lot of people respond to, like one category. So I just added
mhm.
a third category for myself.
Yeah, and Instructional is another one, and um, sometimes funny works. Like the first time I had a note go viral, it was, if you don't like profanity, close your ears right now. It was, don't fuck with writers, will describe you. White on a black background. That was the first time I ever had a note go viral. People just loved that. And this is totally random, but it's like, oh, okay. And sometimes just like off the wall things that you're thinking about can go viral. You just never know. But it's not so important that they go viral, is that you're showing up often so you have notes that can keep surfacing when people are or are in their feed. Because people that are your followers, they're seeing your stuff. And the more that you show up, because not everybody is showing up 3 times a day. Trust me, most people are showing up maybe once a week in notes and they don't understand why they're not growing. That's why. It's because it's kind of a numbers game, to the extent that you just need to keep showing up. And your notes are getting seen, Tracy. I know that people are showing up for your lives now. You're consistently getting about 20 people on those lives
It was
every
so
week.
good today. I think that was the most, like 24 at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I,
so
I
good.
always forget to look. And so I'm just like, well, it is what it is. And like I did a live for something different. I did an in-person live for my book a few months back, and nobody showed up. Like I had one friend show up, but somebody had asked the person. It was like winter and it was snowy and awful out. And so somebody had asked the person to live stream it, and I was like so bummed that nobody showed up. And I was just like, but I was like, okay, well, there's one person out there watching, and the shop owner's gonna watch. But then like there were like at this point there's been almost 100 views of it. And so, like, and I don't know if there's a way to look at that in Substack, like how many lives. I know I can in YouTube, which of course all of my lives are uploaded to YouTube. But yeah, I don't know how. I guess in the stats I would check that to see if people are
Yeah.
watching the recordings.
Yeah, you go to your post page, and then you click the 3 little dots, and there'll be the stats page. It also has your assets on there, like images and clips.
The
That's where
clips
you
is
find them.
amazing because I think like when sometimes if you go live on Instagram or Facebook, which I never do, but if you have like 1 or 2 people show up, that's it. It doesn't you can repost it, but I really feel that the value that you get from those clips, because then you can put them on your TikTok, on your Instagram, whatever, wherever you want to put it, is worth it in itself, even if only a couple of people showing up because of the content that you get from
And
it.
the clips are so good. Like
They're so good.
I was shocked at like it stops and it starts and stops at the right places, and they make sense. And so it's like that is just like top notch what we can do in Substack with those clips.
And
And I
it's
am
got
not,
captions.
yeah, I am so not good with posting to Instagram and TikTok right now, and I've been thinking about that. Like, I really have to get better. The types of things for me that tend to go viral in Instagram and TikTok are like short, not like me, but like whatever I'm doing. Like, I show people how to find out what kind of fiddleheads they can eat. Or I go out and I'm like, I'm picking mulberries today. And for whatever reason, people love that. So it's like, I don't know how to translate what I do with the clips into the stuff that tends to be really popular for me in Insta and TikTok. But I also haven't posted many of them. I've maybe posted 1 or 2, so maybe I'm missing out on a little gold mine there.
You could be.
I would just link, yeah, put the little snippet and then link it to, watch the full thing here, get them over to Substack.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I have definitely have not done that. So thank you for that, Soph.
And you can put more than one link on Instagram in your bio.
Yeah, because I never know, like, I don't, like, I'm always trying to send people to school. So if I'm putting a link, it's always my school community. But there's so much more content that people can actually access in Substack because my school community is private. It's sort of like, am I, maybe it's build the trust in Substack because there's a lot more to see there as opposed to just sending everybody straight to school. So I'm a little unclear on what my strategy should be there.
I would say Substack to build the trust and then school. But
I
I'm
think
not the
so too,
expert.
because Substack is just the space where you're able to get them to subscribe. So you're basically getting them on your list. It's the lead magnet.
Yeah.
Substack is just your lead magnet. And then you get them into your school community because that's the place where you deliver on your offers.
So, like, I know what to do when I go live. I do, I do the hook, I talk about the community, and for anybody doing live, definitely have at least one person join you, because like Jill has been joining me, and she drops the links in for me. And Soph has been joining me too, and she's been hitting the hearts and making me laugh inappropriately all the time. So thanks for that, Soph. Um, but yeah, it's so useful to have someone with you. So where, I'm not going to obviously be putting my school community in my notes. So do I just include those? Like I talk about them, they happen in my lives, but do I include that link to school like as a
Don't put links in your notes. I,
No,
I
no, I meant when I make the post, like I do
on
like
on
on Substack, when I do the post,
yeah,
I do a link
yeah,
to my school.
lots of links.
Yeah.
At
Okay.
least
Lots and
have
lots of
it in your
links.
foot, like your foot, find me in these places, school, wherever you want other people to go, and then yeah,
Yeah, don't have lots of them. Just like subscribe and I will send you the link, or just join my community. Here's the beautiful picture and click here. Um, and all of your subscriber emails is like delivered whatever I promised you. You can find it in the community. You have to join my community. Um, because it's in the classroom. It's unless you just don't have a school community and you're doing something differently, and that's when you can use chat, because the chat is supposed to be the community part of Substack. It's just that, to me, school, if you've got a school community, you're golden. It's like what, $9 a month to have a hobby community, and they'll drive traffic to it. Um, so yeah, everything outside in the other ethers that goes to Substack. From Substack, you want to send them to school.
So in my YouTube and my LinkedIn, I'm sending them to Substack then.
I would send directly to school because you're talking about things that they're going to find in school.
Okay.
Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, those people you want in Substack because they need more context in order to actually get the rest of whatever you're teasing them with. So
Well, would I mix it up and sometimes send them if I'm posting in Instagram or Blue Sky, say, would I want to sometimes send them to YouTube?
I would never send them to YouTube. Only send them places where they can give you money.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
That's just a rule of thumb. However, they can give you money for whatever it is that you're talking about, that's where you want them to go.
Okay.
Does anybody else have questions about notes, about how to make them work for you? I'm scrolling back through here to see if I can see anybody else's. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. So I'll just kind of give a big overview here. And if you, oh man, there's 18 chats. And Eva's recording. And then, is it something you could teach via webinar? Jennifer, can you hop on and tell me what you mean by this? Are you asking that question of Bo? Is it something you could teach via webinar, et cetera, Chrome
Yeah,
extension?
sorry. Yes, that was the gentleman who was kindly speaking to the Chrome extension.
Okay, that's Bo McCoy.
Hi.
Oh, thank you. Hi.
Can
I
you answer that?
will gladly create something and I'll work with Jill and we'll do an announcement because I don't know all of you. So I will gladly teach anyone who wants to learn how to do that for free because there are people out there gouging for the same thing and it literally takes 15 minutes.
We'll have you
Cool.
on one of these days, Bo, and you can do the Monetize Your Mission Mastermind and you can just do it on the
Okay, yeah,
mastermind. Does
I
that
have
sound good?
no problem doing it because it's so easy. And people are making it so hard and people are gouging people and I'm seeing it everywhere, wanting to charge you $1,000 just to, do what I can show you in 15 minutes.
Excellent, excellent. Um, yeah, we're getting lots of thank you bows. So it's definitely, I will get with you and we'll figure out when we're gonna do that. And Rhonda loves doing posts at 11:11 or 7:07. Me too. Stroke the starter, and we can do a t-shirt. Careful, I put you in my novel. I love that. Um, yeah, there is a stats panel. It's over in your in on your dashboard. Click posts and click the three dots, and you can look at your stats for any given article. When it comes to notes, you can also look at the stats for your notes. That's down. It'll say view stats, and you just click the buttons, and that's how you get the bigger expanded version of how many impressions it got and how many subscribers you got out of it and how many likes and restacks. Um, Bye, Claudia. And Janae says good point. And all right, I think I got it all. Does anybody have any other questions about notes specifically? And be sure and use the notes boost thread. It is really a big deal that we have these threads in our community and that we do them daily. People do go through them and they will like your stuff. They'll comment thoughtfully on it. And those comments really do make a difference as to how far your stuff will reach. Commenting is probably the single most important thing you can do on other people's notes, on other people's content, and commenting on the commenters in there. So you're extending the conversation further down. Also helps the publication, excuse me, and restacking them and just being a really active member in on Substack. Substack totally rewards that. Okay, so that's all I've got. Anybody else have anything else that they want to throw in? If not, come join us in the community. It's school.com/u-world-order because we're trying to raise the global frequency and create the U world order. All right, y'all. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.